I got a pure email from a guy named Antonio Cole. Shout out to Antonio. He just wanted a couple of pointers on how to improve his shout groove. I guess he plays a lot of shout music at his church, and he was just looking for a couple of tips on how to improve on this particular groove. So he asked if I could do a video on it, and I was like, sure, why not? So yeah, basically the shout groove can be a little bit challenging for a lot of drummers, purely because of the tempo. It's really fast, it's frantic. It's generally up around this tempo. And it's tough, like when you're sitting in that pocket way up there, it's tough to get all your ideas out when you want to, especially your fills and all that kind of thing. So I'm going to show you a really simple way that you can make this groove easy to play. And the cool thing about drums, I think, is that a lot of things that you do physically on the kit that you're having trouble with can become that much easier as soon as you just kind of switch your thinking and your approach to it. So, making the shout groove easier. Typically, the shout groove is something like this. Now, if you're in a situation where you have to play that and you're not used to playing that, you're gonna have a lot of trouble. You're gonna trip over your words a lot, and you're not gonna be able to get your ideas out the way you want. So the approach is this. It's real simple. When you go to play the shout groove, try this. Start out, first of all, this is a way that you can practice doing this. Start out just by playing the groove itself. I was doing a lot of stuff with the right hand there. Ignore that for the moment and just focus on this. When you're playing the shout groove, all I want you to do is to focus on just playing 8 notes. All right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The whole time you're playing the shout groove at that tempo, it's way up here, just focus on playing the 8 notes. And all you're gonna do is with your right hand and your right foot, you're gonna play the 1, 2, 3, 4. And with the left hand, you're gonna play all the ands. That's it. So that's where it starts. So all it's gonna sound like is this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's all. Sounds kind of simple and maybe even a little bit lame, but you got to remember, when you're up there playing that kind of thing, you launch into it. You got a bass player going nuts over here. You got to do it on probably an organ or a B3 over here going crazy. You probably got guitar players on there, not to mention all the old ladies, you know, dancing like crazy in front of you. Nobody's going to really care what else you do around that. Okay? So if you just stick to playing 8 notes, you'd be surprised at how fast you can play just that. It's almost like a blast beat. It's crazy. That is super comfortable to play, because all I'm doing is playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's really easy to do. And then you're going to save your higher subdivision, your 16th notes. Save that for all your fills. All right. So when you go to play your ideas, your fills and stuff, you just throw in a 16th note fill inside of that somewhere. You're good to go. All right, and again, all I did was I'm just approaching it a different way. And I dropped the subdivision down in my head to just 8 notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the 16th notes I'm just using to throw my fills in there. Now that's for beginners and intermediate drummers that are playing this shout type of groove. If you want to improve on this, you want to start getting a little bit fancier with the right hand or on your ride, then there's ways that you can sort of introduce yourself into doing that kind of thing. Basically, the groove itself stays the same regardless. It's just going to be back and forth, kick snare, kick snare, kick snare, kick snare. That's all that's going on there. So all you really have to do from that point is just practice playing different types of rhythms with the right hand around that. And the best way to do that is to start slow and work your way up. So a good one to really start out with, because there's a lot of different variations that you can play of this rhythm once you actually get into it. But a good one to start out with is, it's a rhythm called the cascada, which is a Latin type of thing that's normally played on like a wood block or a cowbell or whatever. But the cascada sounds like 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's a great little rhythm that you can start out with, that you can apply to your ride cymbal while you're playing the shout group. And the best thing to do is just start out slow, because you want to be able to get your muscles to get used to working together that way in that thing. So all you're going to do is play that rhythm around the 8 notes with the kick and the snare. And that slow would sound like this. That's a really good one to start out with, because there's a lot of different variations that you can play for that rhythm. You can cut it in half, you can play the first half, you can play the second half, whatever. It'll just introduce you to playing the bell in different types of rhythms, just around that 1, 2, 3, 4 thing that's going on. So yeah, that's really it. Just start out slow, work your speed up. And then eventually, you can, once you get used to that whole thing, then you can start experimenting with different types of bell patterns around that 1, 2, 3, 4 thing that's happening. So here's another example of that. All right, so that's the idea. And then from there, you just work your speed up until you can play it up the tempo comfortably. So there you go. There's a simple way to start to work on your shout, and then eventually, get that right hand involved, and then you'll be on your way. But make sure that you start out first of all just doing the simple 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If that's all you do during the shout, that's okay. All right. You don't need to play any fills during the shout, because you're not performing. There's all kinds of stuff going on around you, where if all you play is that and keep that steady, you're good to go.